Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has a new campaign strategy, and it sounds an awful lot like something Donald Trump would do. DeSantis is now making Trump's age and mental ability a campaign issue. He's almost Bidening Trump. Team DeSantis unveiled the Trump Accident Tracker on social media to point out every misstep, mistake, and gaffe by Donald Trump.
There's a man, Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. Fronts on both Russia and Biden. He's got somebody at 21%. I just saw a number, 21%. JFK Jr., who's a very nice person. I know him very well.
You actually gave him a presidential commendation before you left office. Wouldn't you like a do-over on that?
I don't know who gave him the commendation. I really don't know who gave him the commendation.
Earlier this week, the national spokeswoman for Ron DeSantis for president, Carly Atchison, joined me to explain the strategy. So are you guys kind of trying to Biden Trump here?
I think Trump is Bidening himself, and we're just pointing that out for the American people. I mean, it used to be Donald Trump mocking Joe Biden for not knowing where he was, who he was talking to. And as you just showed, now that's Donald Trump doing the exact same thing.
This is a different DeSantis campaign. I mean, the glove's finally off. A, can it work? B, even if it doesn't work for DeSantis, is it going to hurt Donald Trump? Back with us is Steve Israel, former Democratic congressman from New York, Scotty Nell Hughes, former campaign surrogate for Trump, and Patrick McEnroe, media commentator and former pro tennis player. Patrick, what do you make of it?
He's going nowhere. By the way, I like Biden. Is that did you come up with that term? I like that. Very good. That's going to go in my thesaurus.
I mean, I came up with that. I'm not saying no one else has ever said it, but yes, I came up.
Let me go to DeSantis because I said this very early on, even when he was polling very well, months ago. He's going nowhere, and you know why? Because to the average person, a non-political person like me, he's just inauthentic. He's not real. Everything he does feels scripted. It doesn't just feel, forget the shoes. I mean, that's a whole nother story. And when you go after the Donald, okay, the way he goes after others, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose.
If you're going to shoot the king, you got to kill him.
You cannot come after him with this type of thing. And this only makes his supporters even behind Trump even more when you go after him with stuff like this. He's just loving this.
Trump's response was, it's a weak be moved by a dying campaign. They never have an original idea of their own, which I think is so fascinating. They're basically saying, this is a great idea, right? Yeah. This is a great concept, but you guys didn't come up with it, we did.
Here's the deal, is I hate pettiness in politics. Unfortunately, we see a lot of it, especially in presidential politics. Going after age is never a winning strategy. I don't agree with it with Biden. I don't agree with it with Trump, because one of the largest demographics that turn out every time at the polls are your senior citizens. And to insult them, they take this very personally. So I think this is a very bad strategy for the DeSantis campaign to do. What is good to do is to point out the different gaffes of what Republicans and Americans had to live with under Trump. And there were several, I must say, mistakes that were made, comments that were made. You can point those out. I think there's every right to that, and remind people why people stayed home from the polls in 2020 and didn't vote for Trump. A lot of it were a lot of the gaffes that you pointed out in your montage.
Look, I'm a Democrat. I don't know if it's a good Republican strategy or a bad Republican strategy, but I love watching it.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is DeSantis. I'm just surprised that DeSantis, early on in the campaign, I kept saying, is DeSantis going to come out swinging here at all? And it was all sort of like, well, Donald Trump's done a great. It was very Vivek-like, right? And now he's not even DeSantis himself. This is New Hampshire, DeSantis last week, number 2.
He is wedded to the teleprompter. He can't get off that teleprompter. Anytime he does, he says things like, don't vote. He's telling people not to vote, like we have all the votes we need. Really? This is a different Donald Trump than 2015 and 16.
I agree with him on that, but this is what happens when Nikki Haley starts beating you in the polls. This is the direct result of that. And I think that DeSantis is realizing that no matter what, he's never going to bring the Trump base over to him. So he might as well try to get the rest of the crowd, that if he could merge all the numbers from all the other candidates, then he might have a chance.
Because if there is a chance for someone else other than Donald Trump, they're going to have to coalesce around one person. I don't know that it's going to be DeSantis, Nikki Haley, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, first of all, when Trump goes off the teleprompter, that's when he's the most entertaining. So whether you like him or you hate him, that's when he, to me, at his best. I'll give you one last sports analogy, Dan, okay? This is what's called a Hail Mary from the DeSantis campaign.
We're not at that point yet. I thought
We're
about
at that
using that.
point.
Like, I don't think we're at the
It's
Hail Mary
over.
campaign
Yeah,
yet.
it's over.
I don't think. I think you're getting close to it. I think we're definitely on third down.
Nikki Haley's got a much better shot at the moment than he does.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.